Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutty, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know where them put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
We are back. It is Mock Draft Monday. Last one we're going to do, right? Rookie drafts are just about over for everybody. Yep. I don't know. How about you guys? You guys got any more left to go? I got...
Nope. I'm done.
3 or 4.
I think I've got 2 left. One of them's a league just where the commish just has been doing a poor job at collecting everyone's dues. But other than that, yeah, I think it's just one that's actually scheduled for some reason. They scheduled it like mid-June. So I got to wait a little while for that one.
If you guys would like to partake, the link is in the chat. Go check
yes,
that out. Hit it. What's up, T-Rock?
T-Rock.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, that light was too bright, bro. It looked like the people under the stairs, man. I was like, what's going on out here?
T-Rock, we'll give you there's a couple spots in here yet. I'll put it in the private chat for you, bud. Just click or join.
T-Rock said he's going to be the commissioner. You want to go and join.
He's just going to watch. Yeah, T-Rock shining for all of us. Other than that, Coop, you pulled up the warp for this league, so we're going to do a league where we assume tight ends matter. Coop.
Yep.
So Coop's got the warp, made the league for us. Just this is how you do it. This is how you make these leagues. It's how when you're not sure, you can test out settings, roster settings, see what the warp is.
Yeah, just go in under your sleeper username. You can just make a new league. Doesn't need to have anyone in it but you. Just make the settings however you want and click calculate. See what it looks like.
What do you think? That warp graph right there, Coop? Interesting. Quarterbacks low.
It is very interesting. Tight ends, actually matter in this one.
That's good. That's what I like to hear. You know it.
And you know what? What's actually kind of interesting too is this one is even a lineup league. Yeah. So it's best ball that you can usually see like some of these lower value tight ends matter enough where the high values kind of don't matter as much. But you're seeing in this one like, hey, look at that number 1 warp player if you average the past 5 years tight end. Number 4, another tight end. Number looks like 9, third tight end. Like these tight ends, they are difference makers for sure.
Gotcha. Whoa, we got the chat popping. I was burying T-Rock's face there for a minute. It's a wild T-Rock. He has appeared. Get your Pokeball. Catch him. Kyle Pitts. He says Kyle Pitts loves Kirk Cousins. Fizz.
We love Kyle Pitts. That's what I'm talking about. We love Kyle Pitts, man.
Let's get this thing started. Stroh making the first pick.
Who the fuck is that?
Marvin Harrison. Yeah. Marvin Harrison.
Ooh, I like that. I like the switch up. I like that.
Hey, Fizz, you can just say tight end matters. You got to type it.
You want to make sure it's on record too, man. You know?
I thought maybe that was so it'd be anonymous, just in case it doesn't get highlighted.
No,
go back.
Man.
The lawmaker. If it goes too late, y'all get inflamed.
Oh nah, come on, D, bro. I got the 12 picks, so it ain't on me. Anybody come to me late, that's on them. It ain't on me, man.
T-Rock, you're up, bud.
Yep.
Come on,
Come on. You get served a gift.
Boy.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Coop. We just talked about tight ends matter. DB's in the chat. Second part of rookie hit rates based on warp. coming out this Friday. Adam and I already recorded it today. And let's just say the tight end position I probably buried even harder than it already had been.
Oh,
So-
boo. Boo. Ooh, Malik Neighbors.
What?
Ooh, what?
Schumer, you're drunk, man. You've been out on the golf course all day. What the?
Up, Sean?
Wait, these
Corey.
people are
Going
picking way too
on?
fast. We can't even talk
The-
about
the-
picks.
Don't worry, we got
The-
plenty of time. We had to vamp a lot last
Dang,
episode.
Tonight is the
Okay.
night, I guess.
How
huh?
does- all right. I'm just not going to ask any questions how Jaden Daniels was there for me at 105.
Say
just
thank
That's
you.
because Schumer and
Just
Big
going to
Quarter
take the pick
Yeah.
and
Man,
Just
come
say
on,
thank
Coop.
you.
Hey, Coop, let's switch teams, bro. I'll give you 3 picks. What in the world? Come
I
on,
take all the
Coop.
Kenny Pickett at the 112.
And I was gonna take that spot, Coop, but I said, no, let me get the last pick, man. Goodness gracious, bro.
This is nuts. This is
Oh, yeah,
absolutely
it's going
fucking
down up in here today, man. Say, hey man, what's going
Hey,
on?
man.
up in here?
Hey, man,
man.
yeah. If you tapped it, you know. Well, you just know.
You know.
If you know, you know. I gotta take Kenny Pickett 2.0. D-Bros here.
Schumer followed the warp.
Follow the
Man.
warp. He followed the warp. I love
Daniel
it.
Jones. I mean, that's it. Daniel Jones, Jaden Daniels, J-Day at the 105.
The warp tells me tight end does not matter.
He just got warped into a black hole. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, I don't see a green light here from ES, so hopefully ES is still alive. By the way, ES, join us. Same thing for Manderson. The warp tells me.
Come on, bro. We
Tight
got an
end
auto
does
pick
not
going
matter.
on.
Let's hope not.
It's okay. Just never invite him ever again. Just ban his ass forever.
Well, it's a good thing it's the last one. So I don't have to worry.
yeah, that ban isn't going to be too effective. Well, I guess it's infinitely effective if we're never doing it again. But
Look, the draft started off so wild.
What
I
is
guess
this? Why am I catching strays?
the draft started off so wild. I
Pick
guess
the
they
pick
rolled
for
out,
him.
man.
All right. What are we picking for? Yes, you failed
Brian
us.
Thomas.
Brian Thomas?
sure.
Fuck it. Oh, he's back. Never
Yep.
mind. We're good.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
now we're just Manderson. He's back.
Terrible pick to come back.
Hey, you did all right. What's up, Mr. Wonderful? By the way, Mr. Wonderful had a trade this week. We also did the trade show recorded at the end of the day. It's really nice not having a job. I technically in between jobs and having the week off. Like I get to do all my good shit like on Monday, just knock it out. The rest of the week's gonna be easy, boys. I do know, Corey. But why you gotta air it out? Jesus Christ. Come on, Corey. We were roomies. It's supposed to mean something. Can't
Man,
be
what's-
roomies.
it's the first round, man. What's going on up in here?
We still got to get
Anderson
we
came back and then he left.
He's
Oh,
back
there we
There
go.
we go.
back again. We gotta get
Oh,
D-Bro over to the shit house this year.
Nah, D, bro, you got to come through, bro. You ain't. I don't know if you ready to stay, but you at least got to come through, man. It's a little crazy up in there, brother. I got
Yeah,
a
for
tough
me.
choice to make, man. Damn,
That room is sacred.
I want to
Detention.
be. I want to
forever.
be biased and take my guy, but I also want to be smart.
Sure did. Sure did, Derek.
It's an easy pick. What are you talking about?
Nah, it's not easy, T-Rock, because I'm a Lad McConkey guy, man. But I want to take Jonathan Brooks because he's supposed to go right.
No, take Lad, man. To go with your heart. That would have been the pick I'd take.
Go with your feelings
Yeah,
before you time out.
yeah.
You only got one of these. Take the
let's
guy
go-
you want.
There it is.
That's good. Let's get my boy Lad, man. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Now Stroh's
The
excited.
running back longevity, man. You know.
The Jonathan Brooks hate continues, and it's not just me. All right, it's not just me.
And to be honest, Michael Penix really would have been my pick, but I always take Penix, so I just want to switch it up.
Okay, that's fair.
But 100% Penix is my pick without a doubt. I ain't gonna lie.
D-Rock. just driving it in.
What?
Just driving it in.
What the hell just happened? What are you guys laughing at?
Not yet.
Man,
I
we
hadn't
might
even
got to
started.
restart this draft, man. What's going
No,
on?
this is a
here?
great draft. This
Trey
is
Benson went before Brooks. I don't mind. I think Trey has a good shot of being a top dog, man.
It takes a drunk to know a drunk.
And I ain't gonna lie, I want to get Michael Penix back, man. I feel bad now.
you throw in a little tight end preview, and everybody loses their minds.
yeah, man.
Ow.
No, it's
I
just
was
Big
hoping I'd
Corey.
get a
That's
chance.
Come
pretty
on,
much
D,
it.
bro, man. We just a little drunk. We ain't that drunk.
I've been drinking it all. Trust me, it's water in here. For now.
I gotta get my water.
Coop, you got sniped.
I did get sniped.
Whatever.
But realistically, I shouldn't have been in the position.
Now
to
that
be
now that I
sniped,
remember we getting
so.
draft grades, I should have took Michael Penix, man. I'm kind of a little salty now.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Should've.
a little salty. I wanted to switch it up, but I should have just stuck with what I usually do. I'm tripping.
Well, then, I
Look,
can
D-Bro,
defend your pick
the way
later.
D-Bro talking, he ain't coming to the school, man. He like, what the hell going on?
He might. Oh, shit.
But does he not like having a good time? Because that's all we're going to be doing.
Oh, no, it's going down, brother.
Here's
It
the
is
thing,
going down.
bro. I would have loved to have Jonathan Brooks at 205, but he just didn't get there for me. And
Teach us.
realistically, I would have also taken him at. I would have taken him over Benson at 202, and I would have taken him over Ladd, but just not over Penix. So
Yeah,
still out of the first round.
And look, don't
Out of
throw
the
them,
first round.
don't throw it in my face though, T-Rock. I mean, Coop, man, because that was my pick, man. I don't know what I was doing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You were listening to a little
Well,
devil. on your
you can
shoulder.
make it up now, Fizz.
I know, and you know
Make
I
a good
want to,
pick.
you know I want to get who I want to get, but
All right, tell me the two players you want here.
Wilson
play
is
the wrong
Wilson is the pick, but I want to take Burton because that's who I want.
Yeah, definitely take Burton. I would
That's who I
not
want.
take Roman.
Yeah,
I mean, if Mike can get a 25 first for Burton, I might just take him and trade him for that, right?
Take Burton and regret it. There you go.
No, sir. Mike out here selling Burton for tight end premium numbers, man. What's going on out here? Bro, this not taking Penix thing really on my mind, man. I'm sick, man. I'm sick to my stomach that I didn't do it, man. What am I doing?
It's okay. You'll
Damn, bro. Yeah, I'm a little salty at that, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna be really salty when Ladd McConkey gets
No.
like 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns.
I'm sitting here watching this, and I'm wondering how much people have already forgotten about the tight end premium.
All of it.
I mean, I feel like the tight end premium in this league, though, is in this draft, I don't know if it matters to me as much this year, to be honest.
Maybe they're already tapped in. Maybe they already got a preview of rookie hit rates.
Now you know
If you
tight
have-
ends matter to me, but I think last year was that year to reach for your tight end. I don't know if this year is.
But if you have tight end 18,
Jesus,
like
T-Rock,
we're
let's go.
projecting Sanat, we're projecting
rush.
Sanders to be starting tight ends. If they're just a top half tight end in the NFL, they're better than wide receiver 30.
Yeah, well, I say
Like,
this.
you-
I'm picking
You
12.
telling me Adonai Mitchell is going to be better than wide receiver 30?
He could be.
Like,
Well,
I don't
I'm picking
think
from
so.
I'm picking
So-
from 12, so I'm coming from my
He's
spot.
certainly gonna be better than the fucking third tight end in this league.
I mean, even Burton. What do you think Burton is, Fizz?
Hey, what was that? What was that number? Top 12 tight end.
I think to me, Burton is a wish.
Top 12 is equivalent to wide receiver 22,
Okay.
and top 18 is equivalent to wide receiver 30.
All right.
So I'm looking at if I think a guy has a shot to be in the top half of tight ends in the NFL, and I don't think a wide receiver has the ability to be in the top third, essentially to be a wide receiver 1 on their team.
But are we
then
counting just 1 year?
I gotta go the tight end.
Are we counting just 1 year though? Because I feel like if T. Higgins leaves, man, I feel like Burton is definitely a top 20 receiver at some point.
Yeah, and those wide receivers in the 25 to 35 range, they trade for way more than.
Do you want to take a guess what the hit rate percentage is for all second round tight ends drafted to reach top 12 tight end in the first 3 years?
That's what I'm saying. Are we going off 1 year or dynasty? Because
I'll give you 3 years. No, I'll give you 3 years.
I'm with you. That's why I'm not reaching for.
No, I'm just asking. I'm asking the panel. Do you guys want to take a guess what the percentage is? All second round tight ends to hit top 12 in warp for the tight end position.
I'm gonna just throw a number
the
out there
first 3 years.
and say 30%.
I was gonna say 25. I think 25% of them make it.
T-Rock?
I'm just gonna pull up my article that I wrote all about. So 1 second. It's not off the top of
D-Bro?
my head.
Yeah, I wanted to go lower than 30, but I give him a. Last year might have boosted him up a little bit.
Taken in the second round of NFL drafts or second round of
Second round of the NFL draft. Second round NFL draft capital.
Now, if you would have asked me this before last year, it might be a different answer. But last year kind of boosted him up a little bit, I think.
I don't know. Could tell you second round of rookie drafts.
This is why I had DB make this chart for me. Going back to 2007. You guys are guessing in the 20s and 30s. 13% 13% of all tight ends drafted in the second round of the NFL draft have actually hit a top 12 or better season within their first 3 years.
Yeah, but 86% of tight ends drafted in the second round of rookie drafts hit a top 12 season. So you could take a stat from anywhere and make it whatever you want.
Show me.
All right, what about tight ends drafted in the third round NFL draft capital?
See, here's my argument against what you're talking about here, Mike. Is you're looking at tight ends drafted in the NFL draft. I do not think that tight ends drafted in the NFL draft are oftentimes drafted for blocking prowess. I mean, even just look at like Tip Reman.
Okay.
Like
so how many tight ends taken in the first round of the NFL draft have hit a top? Because you can't tell me.
Yeah.
100% over the last 5 years.
What'd you say? How many? What's your percentage?
It's been 100% over the last 5 years.
This goes back to 2007. So think about all them tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, I only went back 5 years.
I mean, probably
big sample size.
Pretty good. It would like pretty good compared to that round two. I mean, if I'm going to take a guess, it's probably. I guess 2007. You probably had some more of the blocker type still, but I'll go with like 2/3, so 66.
43%. Sub 50.
I mean, I still preach tight ends matter, but I feel like even a guy like Ben Sinnott, right? And it's funny he took all was my pick, but I damn sure was like, damn, that was my damn pick too.
And that is just tight end 12, right? Like, who gives a fuck?
But see, we also
how about tight ends that really matter? Tight end 6.
But look, we playing the game too with like a Ben Sinnott, right, over there in Washington. If Ertz really gets a lot of play just because he's on 1 year, people that draft him, they're gonna try to move him because they're not patient. We in a game where people are very impatient, man. And if you don't break out your first year, you can steal some plays from people, man, especially at tight end. So,
but you don't even have to wait 3 years. Just look at the last 5 years. We only had to wait maybe 2 years just over the last 5 years. We're in a completely different tight end age than fucking 15 years ago. So that's the only pushback I have with going all the way back to 2007.
Pick one. That was my damn pick, bro. Good pick. Yeah, I can't pick at this 12 no more, man. I'm tripping. I'm not gonna. Earl was my pick, but I was like, damn, man, Luke.
Look at all the value you got, though. You got McConkey, you got Burton. They could be top.
No, I mean,
wide receivers this year.
But just for the premium sake, but the only problem with Eric is Cincinnati and the tight ends, man. We haven't seen one that really took off yet, and he got probably a whole year to recover. So.
He's going to probably be like the fucking tight end 3, and he's coming off a major injury.
What I would do, I would let you take Eric and then I'd try to get him from you later on when you're tired of holding him on your roster.
There's only 3 tight ends I'm drafting in rookie drafts. That's it. Maybe Kate Stover at a free agency.
There we go. I talked about K last week. They told me I was crazy, man. I like that Kate Stover.
I mean, you talked about a completely different era of tight end, but OJ Howard was a first rounder. And Njoku took forever to hit. Hayden Hurst still hasn't done anything. Noah Fant still hasn't. Pat Freiermuth has been a wait and see.
Yeah, but look at the last 5 years. Look at Kyle Pitts.
I just say some of these guys. I mean, I'm going back 2021 with some of these dudes.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I think they're they're doing a lot better job of preparing for the NFL these days. So I don't know.
Just pointing it out, man.
D, bro, just listen, bro. I'm telling you, all answering it will be buys in the middle or late towards the season because people are gonna get impatient once they don't do what they supposed to do.
And that's the best.
All might not even play at all. Like he might just take this year off. But we all in leagues where people just get impatient, man. They just say, I'm holding a roster spot. He ain't doing nothing. I want to trade him. We get him for nothing. I see it happen every day. Matter of fact, D-Bro made a great point about Michael Penix, and I heard on one of the shows, he said he not taking him early because the longer you wait, the cheaper you could buy him. I feel like that with these tight ends, the longer you wait, the cheaper you can buy them because people they're gonna sour on them. If you're not really a big fan of that particular player.
So your second round tight ends just last year, right? Laporta was nice. Schoonmaker didn't do anything. Strange didn't do anything.
Yeah, or are they being drafted in rookie drafts? They would be drafted fourth or not even.
My point about these non-Bowers tight ends is you have to look at the relative hit rates in terms of usefulness. Like I'm comparing Sanat. Like I wasn't saying take Sanat at the end of the first round. I'm saying take Sanat over Adonai Mitchell, over Blake Corum, over Marshawn Lloyd. Like over that tier of player. Like we're talking that these guys that are going in the late second round, you aren't. It's nice if those guys hit for you, but it's not guaranteed that those guys are going to hit. And so if you're trying to play this game, like I think Sanat is a great spot that he went in, but Sanders, I think that if you're talking how useful is Roman Wilson going to be, how useful is Jalen Wright or Jalen Polk or Jermaine Burton or Troy Franklin, like all of those guys have long ways to get to wide receiver 30. Whereas I feel like Jatavian Sanders doesn't have as long of a way to go to get to tight end 18.
I see.
And if those two are equivalent, that's you should be going to the tight end.
Did you not like their profiles, Coop? Like Adonai, who was projected to be a back end first, or Corum, who's been one of the best running backs over the last 3 years. I mean, if they get the clock,
by the way,
they get a spot. Oh, whoops. What about? Yeah, just fucking Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, D-Bro. Listen, what's the name is not there anymore. I mean, Burton. Listen, I'm high on Burton this year, man. That's my guy for 2024, and who knows? T. Higgins can still be traded. He can be traded tomorrow. We don't know.
How do you say that Corum?
All I'm pointing out is, Coop, the data is not very good.
Yeah, I agree. The data's not very good.
Let's get it.
It's one of those things where the data's not very good for those third round wide receivers either. And so if we're looking at it that way, they're probably about equivalent. So in a heavy tight end premium league here, I'm going to end up leaning towards that tight end because I feel like they have less of a hill to climb.
Is it though? You got a 21% better chance of a round 3 running back hitting a top 24 RB season than you do a tight end drafted in the second round of hitting a top 12 tight end season.
Well, that's where you play to this league where you're going to end. Sorry, I'm also trying to simultaneously make a pick here.
You good?
When you're looking at this kind of league where you have to start 2 tight ends, that's your cutoff is no longer tight end 12. Your cutoff is, in my mind, a little closer to like a tight end 18 kind of player. And so because that you have that lower threshold, more guys are going to be able to make it into that range. And so that's where you kind of have to look at those hit rates specific to your league. In terms of, hey, my league, I need to start more of these guys. The break-even point, like when I talk about the tight ends don't matter strategy, I'm making my break-even point of like, hey, you really want a guy at this or above at like tight end 7 or 8. Like, unless you've got somebody better than that, like the difference between tight end 9 and the guy that you're filling in is not really that much. Like, I can make up to like tight end 14, 15. Like, I can make up just outside of that tight end 12 range. When you're talking start 2 tight end, I'm making up just outside of that tight end 24. But if I'm making up just outside of tight end 24, that means that there's still a difference all the way up there at tight end 15, 16, 17, 18. Like, those guys, there is a difference in having them. And so that's what my new cutoff needs to be. And when you're comparing that as your cutoff, you bring in so many more guys. So like a lot of guys that literally just end up being the starter for a team that has a quarterback that mildly likes throwing to his tight end can reach that.
And I think that in this format with the 2 tight end thing makes sense. Because if you compare 24 as the cutoff, right, hit rates then tell you they're about even as far as just being a top 24 tight end with your NFL draft capital and being a top 24 running back or wide receiver. It's a little bit more in line. More even, right? You're a couple percentage points off. But I did see the Jermaine Burton thing in there, Fizz. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for him. His hit rate, just based on his NFL draft capital, is going to be very, very bad. Even to be a wide receiver 3.
But I will say this: his where he got drafted, he shouldn't have got drafted. He just got drafted for off the field issues. It wasn't talent. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
He could have went a round earlier.
It's not detrimental, right? Like, he's still got a 16% chance historically with that 3rd round draft capital. Now the problem you're going to have is everybody who touts a round 4 wide receiver, the Javon Baker, Troy Franklins of the world. That's a 6% clip even to hit wide receiver 3 territory in their first 3 years. That's a bad bet.
Oh yeah. We got an auto pick too, so somebody gotta add this pick in.
Manderson. We'll give him a player.
Give him a shitty one.
I'd say Davis. Why not?
Damn.
It's 5th round.
So
That's pretty bad.
I'm trying to think. Let me start last pick.
Devontae Walker?
That's my pick.
Jamari
But
Thrash?
I wanted to take Milton just to do it, but I'm gonna go Walker, man. I'm gonna go Walker.
There you go.
It's interesting too when you factor in like the hit rates for tight ends in their first season, like their rookie season, how often they do it or like break in. So to be a top 3 tight end in warp, do you want to take a guess, Coop? How many tight ends have been top 3 in warp in their rookie season?
Since 2007, I'm going to guess it's Laporta and nobody else.
You're close. It is actually nobody.
Oh, Laporta didn't even make it top 3. So some scoring leagues he did. I just didn't.
So DB
he did not.
DB ran the average of what a top 3 warp tight end was for that entire time going back, right? So your average warp number that the tight end had to hit was 1.368. Sam Laporta in this league came in below it, and he finished as tight end 4 in that league too. Crazy, right? Not a single one of them has ever posted an elite season, like the elite of the elite. Not a single one.
You go to top 6, you got Pitts, and that's it. Oh, I
guess. And you take into account too, last year, by all accounts, outside of like, you know, we feel good about Laporta's season. We felt good about Hawkins. It was a down year for tight end across the board as a whole. Yeah, kind of like quarterback,
especially top end
historically, right? Because Travis Kelce didn't go out and catch 110 passes for 1,100 yards and double-digit touchdowns. Yeah. So.
And Mark Andrews getting hurt also did not help. I think if you look at, if I remember right, if you look at AWARP per game for Mark Andrews, he was on pace to have that kind of season, but the fact that he got hurt just meant that he wasn't able to get there.
Now, if you change it to top 6, how many did it? Your Sam Laporta answer is right. He's the only one to ever do it, to ever be a top 6 warp tight end in his rookie year.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Yeah, and Kyle Pitts probably missed because he never got any touchdowns that rookie year.
Yeah. Total, just to hit top 24, though, historically, Koopa, your number's 12 total. That includes all rounds. 6 from the first round, 3 from the second, 2 from the third, 1 dude from the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
right there are based off the rookie warp numbers and the multi-year warp tool. So how Koopa built it, that's how he came to those thresholds. Love it. Love it. All right, let's get some draft grades in here with this wild ass. First off, though, I gotta ask, what was the most egregious pick? T-Rock, most egregious,
That's easy.
good or bad?
Ooh, I've never heard of an egregiously good pick.
Could be egregiously good.
Probably Lad McConkey at 112 for Fizz. That would be good. And then
okay.
Bad. Anything that Big Corey made, because about all of his picks.
Don't worry, you'll get to grade them. Coop, egregiously good or bad?
I'm gonna say egregiously bad. Everyone that passed on Jaden Daniels, and
All four of them.
I wasn't even going to say everybody, but I'm with Coop on that, man.
and
No way.
although I can actually with this warp the way that the chart worked out with how high wide receiver is, I'll let Marvin Harrison be 101. I'm fine with that one, but everyone else that passed on Jaden Daniels,
It's the other three. Shame.
the other three, and egregiously bad or egregiously good. I'm gonna go with realistically. Looking at all this, I really like the Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas, like taking them there and not succumbing to the let's take Michael Penix really early. I'm pretending Fizz took Michael Penix at 112, and I still like Worthy and Brian Thomas over taking Penix. That entirely has to do with this warp, where the wide receiver is compared to the quarterback.
It's good or bad?
Well, I'm with T-Rock. The bad is everybody that didn't take Jaden Daniels after Caleb Williams. But no, that's the bad. That's the bad. So the good, I'm going to actually say Trey Benson going before Jonathan Brooks. And the reason why is because we always see Brooks go before Benson. But I honestly feel like Connor is one play away, 1 year away from being gone, and Trey Benson being an RB1 clear behind one of the best offenses in the game with Kyler and Marv and a new O-line that they building. I don't see why Jonathan Brooks is ranked so. I know talent-wise he should be, but situation-wise, Benson is in a better offense. He's going to score more points. He's going to be in more situations to score and hit the goal line. Brooks, we don't know what that offense is going to look like. So I like taking Benson over Brooks, especially in a mock just to see, but I don't mind Benson over Brooks, man. I like that pick.
Appreciate that.
All right. I'm gonna always die on this hill. Anybody who took a quarterback or who didn't take a quarterback, all bad picks. You guys suck. You guys are terrible. First 6 picks should all have been quarterbacks.
You went with Bo Nix.
Exactly. Stud. All right, T-Rock. Let's look at the 101. Harrison Penix, Polk, Eric Hall, Rasheen Ali. Give it a draft grade.
Ooh. Let me think. I like all the picks except Eric Hall, only because I don't project him to be seeing any, like maybe more than the 3rd tight end. But yeah, I like all the other picks. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. If there's anyone that we could see that gets into that CD Lamb territory with Chase, then it's probably going to be Marvin. Love Penix. He's a huge value, especially if Kirk gets hurt. And I have Polk ahead of Baker in New England. So, and Rasheen Ali, he could be the backup running back behind Derrick Henry. So
could be.
So I'd give that I don't know, an A-, B+, maybe a B+ only because of the Eric Hall pick.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna give them a B. I think that I like the Marvin Harrison pick, the Penix, just with this warp. I feel like that Penix is an all right pick. I still kind of personally would with this warp like to see Jonathan Brooks go over him. I'm kind of on Debro's side for this, but otherwise the rest of it, I think it was just the wrong Cincinnati tight end. I personally think McLaughlin is going to be the guy that catches passes there. So give him a B because he had the right idea going.
join D-Bro's side for 1 second and then just backstab him the next. I love it.
Right.
Fizz.
Well, this person was actually drafting right behind every mistake I made. So literally, it was like an auto pick to me. But other than the poke, I would have definitely taken Roman Wilson over poke. I like this draft. I would give it a B plus. Possibly, it would have been an A if he would have took Rome over poke. So I give it a B plus.
I like the draft a lot. Did a good job just taking whatever fell to you.
Yeah.
I like the boldness of Marv. Go for it. Shoot it. I'm a quarterback guy, but I get it. I'm not going to let that bleed in. I give it an A. Did a good job just taking where it is. I'm not the biggest Eric All fan, right? The ACL injury is concerning, even though he's an Iowa guy. I get it. Eric All was Iowa's offense after Luke Lachey went down. The true Iowa offense. So look forward to 2025. Luke Lachey. Can't wait to get it, but he's fine.
But
He's
in a two tight end league, what would you have taken over all though behind?
None of those tight ends. So that's
Theo
why
Johnson?
it's fine.
Yeah,
No,
that's why.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
that's why I feel like it was good.
I'm good. I'd rather have Eric All than Theo Johnson in this
Yep.
format. So you got him in the 4th round. It's completely fine.
Yep.
Wasn't like you reached for him. Didn't
Yep.
take him at the 301.
Yeah, but
Nothing like that.
Gesicki's going to be the one starting there.
Gesicki's been terrible for the last 8 years, man.
He's still been a top 12 multiple times.
He's been terrible ever since he tried to do the gritty.
All right, I won't lie with you.
It's been downhill since then. All right.
Not the gritty.
T-Rock's draft, you don't get to degrade your own. Them's the rules. T-Rock's draft, Koopa, Caleb Williams, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, Estime, and Johnny Wilson, who could be the tight end in Philly. I always got to throw that in there just to piss off
Yeah.
Dr. B. Harris.
I mean, I like the ideas and I don't like the execution. Just in terms of, I like the idea of getting the quarterback there at 102. He got the wrong one. I like the idea of getting running back there at 202. Got the wrong one. I'm fine with the other two. And sure, Johnny Wilson. Maybe you're gambling on him becoming tight end eligible. And you know that it's not the worst idea to go for a wide receiver who's a tight end. So, unfortunately, with getting the wrong players, I got to give him like a C plus.
C+, nailed it. All right, Fitz, how bad is T-Rock's grade?
Again, I'm taking Jane Daniels over Caleb. This is more preference for me with T-Rock. So, but that Trey Benson, again, man, I'm gonna keep preaching that we say Jonathan Brooks is the better running back, which we know he is. But the situation to me is Trey Benson. So if you want to take Benson and take that chance that he can work out better than Brooks, I don't mind that. Now, Jalen Wright, I'm taking Ron Wilson over Jalen Wright every time. And yeah, I'm gonna give him a B, man. I mean, Johnny, you know, that's cool. Estime at that point, that's not bad. But I don't like that he didn't take any receivers, but I guess he took what fell to him. So I'm gonna give him a B only because he should have took Jaden and Rome should have been what Jalen Wright was.
I don't need any wide receivers. I got Tyreek Hill.
But I'm gonna preach again. I like Trey Benson because again, if John Connor, you know, I say John Connor. if Connor goes out, man, and gets an injury in the preseason, Trey Benson is RB1 without a doubt, and he gonna run it up. Everybody gonna be wishing they took Trey Benson. So I don't mind that pick, man.
What's up, John? How you doing? I'll give him an A-. Right? I'm with you though, Coop. He should have taken Jaden Daniels. Should have. But I think I'm going to piss DB off. No, I don't. It was a preference thing for me. Like, and I've always preferred Jaden Daniels. But then to find out Caleb was wearing 18 in the Bears uniform, the optics are terrible. DB, that's a disgusting fucking uniform combination. All right, down. Yeah, we put him down in the rankings there just because of that one. The Trey Benson over Brooks thing, hot takey, but you know they're close. They actually are close. I prefer Brooks, but they're close. Jalen Wright, great pick by him. Estime was terrible. That's why you get an A-. Like you just lit that pick on fire. That dude's dog shit. Yeah. And Johnny Wilson's fine. Could be the slot, I guess. Possibly D-Bro if you're still in here. Could be. I think it's a nice Smith, but either way. He's fine. And if he converts to tight end, holy Santa Claus shit. Like I'd be highly
Well-
interested. So you got him in the 5th round. A- T-Rock. You didn't do too bad.
Why do you guys like Daniels so much more than Caleb Williams?
He runs.
Okay, is he going to be running for his life because they have probably the worst line
Doesn't matter.
situation? Oh, it doesn't matter.
He's gonna run.
He's gonna run right into fucking linebackers that are.
I did a whole fucking series on this, T-Rock, about where fantasy points come from for the elite quarterbacks, and it comes from rushing.
Yeah, but those people
Yeah,
also
yeah,
have
but
good,
yeah.
they have good offensive lines. They don't have
Lamar
some of the
Jackson
worst
QB1.
No, they
baby.
don't.
lines. Yeah,
Just-
the Ravens have had one of the best offensive lines over the last few years.
Justin Fields did not have a good offensive line when he put up his elite season.
Facts.
They don't need a good offense. They don't
Right.
like if their offensive line is bad. Sure, it probably hampers them a little bit, but it's not going to make them It's not going to be detrimental to them. And if they have a decent and also we see it sometimes with offensive lines that like I don't know exactly with States of Washington's last year, but. Like sometimes the guys just get hurt, they aren't able to play the full year. Sometimes just all it takes is one or two guys, or even just the same offensive line having an extra year to gel together or something like
they
that.
have
and all
one
of a sudden
starter
they
coming
go
back from last year.
But cool, so they've got a blank slate. They might not be the worst offensive line. Like they can change year over year pretty quickly. We see that the same thing in offensive lines and in defenses. They just like where they are year over year. Like the bottom can very easily become average, and if average is all you need to be to be a top tier rusher, that could flip in 1 year.
Okay, yeah, I mean you brought up Justin Fields, but like I can bring up like 5 other guys last year that had bottom 5 offensive lines that all played like shit. Daniel Jones is a good example of that. They have one of the worst offensive lines. He's a rushing quarterback.
And he's had one. And yet, if you look at the hit rate charts, Daniel Jones is one of the only rookie quarterbacks to ever hit a decent threshold in his rookie year with a bad offensive line because he runs the football.
What happened last year then?
I'm just telling you, T-Rock, rushing
T-Rock,
production
man. It's okay,
trumps
bro.
all.
It's okay.
It trumps all at quarterback as far as fantasy is
still got
concerned.
an A.
I'm just worried about Bryce Young happening all over again because
What does Bryce Young not do? Run the football.
I mean, but if you look at Bryce Young's situation and what they are doing in Washington, it's not even close to a comparison to me. They actually
lines are.
They actually trying to help Jayden. They didn't do anything to help Bryce.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out because I really, really like Daniel Jones. He was my highest graded quarterback, but the offensive line really has me worried. So
Fantasy production wise, man, rushing production trumps all.
And look, Lamar Jackson
position.
right down the street, man. He gonna learn from him. He be there.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, like he compared Jaden Daniels to Bryce Young. Like we can't let that slide. D-Bro
Yeah,
says
come
nah.
on, T-Rock, man. Come on now. Come
The
on.
offensive line situation is it's bad.
All right, T-Rock. Yeah, no shit. We know this.
Come on, Rock, man.
Schumer's draft, T-Rock. Neighbors, Coleman, Roman Wilson, Bucky Irvin, Jordan Travis. Give him a grade.
I love the Neighbors pick. I love the Bucky Irvin pick, and I love the Jordan Travis pick. I don't think enough people are talking about Jordan Travis. You know, he was one of my higher graded quarterbacks, and I don't know. He could see some action if Aaron Rodgers goes down or after Aaron Rodgers is done. So I don't like Coleman. I don't like Roman Wilson. So I'd give him a B. Yeah.
But
Cool.
T-Rock, you took Wilson over Travis though, bro. I thought you would have taken him right there.
No, I don't like Roman Wilson at all.
No, I'm
No,
talking
you
about
took Johnny Wilson over.
Johnny Wilson?
over Travis, and you just
I
gave us that
definitely-
whole spiel about how you love Travis. Man.
That was time was up, and I just picked the guy at the top of the tree. I kind of.
It's all good.
Yeah, Redwoods hit on it. T-Rock didn't tune in for the FSU film night, that's for sure. Watching Jordan Travis. Fizz stayed away because he didn't want to hear it. Highest
Go
grade.
ahead,
You might want to regrade. just
Hey, look.
saying, I'm being nice, man. Jordan
My
Travis.
boy got
fucking
hurt. He
terrible.
would have had the national
I
championship.
had him at 7,
man.
right
It's all
after
good.
McCarthy.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Coop, give us a draft grade for Schumer. I'm holding it together.
I think he should have gone Bowers or Daniels over Neighbors. and he should have gone to tight end over Roman Wilson. Then Brooks over Coleman, but I'm just going to pretend that that's Trey Benson at the 204. I don't know. I feel like it's an all right gets you like a B minus. I do like Jordan Travis though. I just need to throw that out there.
I gotta be honest, man. Schumer, my guy, but I might gotta get this a C minus, man.
Damn.
I might even do a D plus, and I don't mean to drop it, but Neighbors over Daniels is honestly Neighbors over Daniels or McCarthy is just crazy to me. But even in the second round, with so much going on in Buffalo, they just signed MVS. They got they got like 8 receivers that was like receiver 3s on other teams. I'm taking Brooks over Keon Coleman, and Keon is my guy. Anybody know me? I'm taking Keon, but not over Brooks. The wrong pick I like. Buggy Irvin, his last 3 is cool, but them top 2, it's a lot of things I think he really dropped the ball on. But the Neighbors one really, to me, take the cake. So I'm gonna go C minus on this one.
If you ask me which one of these 12 people in this draft were out drinking and golfing all day, I would guess Corey Schumer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That would be my guess. I give him a D plus.
Damn.
D plus ish.
Yeah.
Dropped the ball on the Neighbors pick. Terrible. Keon was a good pick. Keon's fine. Okay. 203. It's not terrible. Rome was fine. Bucky Irvin was terrible. Schumer's a Philly guy, man. He took Bucky over Will Shipley. What are you doing? Thought we were bros. Bucky's terrible. And then Jordan Travis couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And he had one. He had a 6'7" barn running down the field. He still couldn't hit him either. So I'm good.
He had 2 big guys.
Terrible draft, Schumer. All right, Corey. Brock Bowers, Jonathan Brooks, Jatavian Sanders, Will Shipley, Jaheim Bell. T-Rock, give him a grade.
I'm not taking a tight end this early. I don't care if you have to start 3 tight ends and it's 3-point premium. Not taking a running back coming off a major ACL on a shitty offense. Not taking Sanders that high. Shipley is probably his best pick. And Jaheim Bell's never going to probably play this year. So, D plus.
Coop.
If you disregard Daniels, I like the Bowers pick. I like the Brooks pick. I like the Sanders pick. Shipley, you're in the 4th round. You're picking a running back. The only guy that I don't think necessarily fits is Jaheim Bell, because I think Hunter Henry has a pretty strong grasp over the tight end there in New England, and also Hunter Henry is actually sneakily productive. If you're in a league like this, 2 tight end, 1 tight end premium, I wouldn't sleep on Hunter Henry. But I'm going to give him probably I'm going to give him a solid B.
Damn.
Fizz hates it so much he muted
You're
himself.
muted.
He didn't even want to say
My
the
bad.
things.
Everything Coop said, that's because Coop answered my whole question for me. So everything Coop said, I'm with it, except for I felt like the team was kind of auto-drafted because other than Bowers, Brooks and Sanders really fell to him. So I'm going with a B. Solid B on that one.
I give him an F plus. F plus.
What?
I mean, I'm with you, T-Rock. He took a tight end at 4, for Christ's sakes. It's terrible. I don't even give a shit what the format is. Yeah, I don't give a shit what the format is. I'm not taking a rookie tight end that high, ever. Peace. Jonathan Brooks, great pick for him. Just fell into his lap, and then he proceeded by fucking the rest of the draft up, too, just the way he started it. So, F plus, Big Corey. F plus. Harsh. All right, Coop, you don't get to grade your own, so T-Rock, Jade Daniels, Pearsall, Ray Davis, Tanner McLaughlin, Frank Gore Jr., which I did see somebody the other day pick up Frank Gore Sr. off a waiver. So
I saw that too.
RIP to them.
Hey, look.
And they spent like $10 on him.
He might come back, man. Frank was running for a long time, man.
Nuts.
Janie Daniels should have gone at the 103, and like many of you argued, maybe even over Caleb. So that's probably the best pick in the whole draft.
Say it with your chest. 101.
Ricky Pearsall. I mean, he was one of my favorite players before the draft, and then we see that first round capital. I fucking love Ricky Pearsall. The only thing is, though, I'd rather have him in best ball than a lineup because who the fuck knows when he's going to ever play. Ray Davis, he was one of my highest graded running backs. So I love that pick. Tanner McLaughlin, I still think Gesicki is going to start, or Tanner Hudson, or some other fucking shitty tight end that we don't give a shit about. And then Frank Gore, he's like the third or fourth running back on the list. So I like him, but I don't like him over Ray Davis, and I don't want two Buffalo running backs on the same team.
What's the grade?
I'd just give it an A just because of the first two picks. Actually, the first three. Yeah, I'd give it a solid A.
Fizz?
Yeah, I mean, I think I gave Cooper A last week, and I'm just do it again, man. He gets an A. Only reason I don't get an A plus is because Jaden Daniels should have never been there anyway. But I'm gonna give you an A on this one, Coop.
I'm not gonna knock you, Coop, for the fact that everybody else is idiots. So A plus for you, bud. Other than I don't know, you could argue the McLaughlin pick, but it doesn't really matter. It's fourth round. It's tight end.
Yeah.
Shooting your shot. I get the reason.
Taking the gamble on who I think is the better Cincinnati tight end for fantasy.
You know I'm a Leggett fan, but Pearsall is somebody, especially in these last couple of weeks, I'm really like, fuck it, man. Everybody else going to fade you. I'm going to just pound the shit out of, well, full stop, no Diddy. Pound the shit out of drafting Ricky Pearsall when he falls. So.
DBL Drizzy.
Nope, Fizz. Nope, save it for Friday.
All right, we're going to save it for Friday, Playboy.
DB's grade. T-Rock, Dunze, Leggett, Kamani Vidal, Braylon Allen, and Jacob Cowing. We give DB.
Roma Dunze. I absolutely love him. He was the third highest prospect that Matt Harmon's ever graded, only behind Jamar Chase and Marvin Harrison. So he could be an absolute steal at 106. Everyone, I think, knows from our draft stream how much I love Leggett. Kamani Vidal, I think he's getting pushed up way too high. I mean, what is he going to be then? He was drafted in the 6th round. So, and Braylon Allen, I guess if what's his face misses time, Brees and Cowing, yeah, I'll give him a solid B plus, only because of the quarterbacks that you could argue Drake May over him. I don't know. I give him an A. How about an A minus? A minus.
Cool.
I like Odunze over May and McCarthy with this warp. Just in terms of where I think May and McCarthy's ceiling is like a potential back end QB1, like and where Odunze's floor versus ceiling is. I think it's with this kind of league, it's well worth going Odunze. And then Leggett, I think, is just the obvious pick. You go the first round wide receiver when your next best option is Adonai Mitchell, who fell all the way to like the latter half of the second. And then Vidal, I have been seeing him go earlier and earlier in rookie drafts, and I personally am having a hard time justifying it. I also know Barry probably has a good reason for saying I'm going to take Vidal here. So I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt just because he's Barry, but also understand that that is something that I could do if I wasn't being as harsh as I usually am with these grades. Braylon Allen, I like that just in terms of get a backup running back there in the 4th. Cowing, I'm just never a fan of drafting a wide receiver in the 5th round, especially in a lineup league. Like that guy's he's basically getting cut off and for somebody off waivers, probably preseason or week 2 or something like that. So overall, I'm gonna for the boldness of it, the Odunze, I'm gonna end up bumping that up all the way to like a B plus, but the Vidal and Cowing prevent it from getting up into the A.
His?
Yeah, I'm gonna go B plus, and the only reason why is because me personally, I would have taken JJ over Odunze because of the situation, if not for anything. But I also would have taken Spencer Rattler over Vidal because it's a lineup and not best ball, and I'm not sure what that running back room is gonna look like with JK and Gus. So I would just take Spencer, hoping that he has a better chance to give me some points in the future. So Leggett, Allen, I don't mind the last, 2 picks, but I definitely would have went quarterback in the first and quarterback in the third. So I give him a B+.
I'll give DB a B. Dunze's fine. I'm with you, Fizz, though. I'm taking the quarterbacks. Hit rates definitely tell you that. And even though Adam argues me all the time, I still tell you there's plenty of wide receivers drafted with good draft capital in the first round who we thought were can't miss, and sure enough, they miss.
We waiting 3 years on Drake London, right?
We still gonna be waiting on Treylon Burks forever.
Yeah.
This shit happens, man. It happens. Quarterbacks at least are a little bit more insulated, so I'm always going to take the quarterback. Leggett fell to him. Nice pick. Kamani Vidal, I don't hate it, especially because it wasn't over Ray Davis, which I see far too fucking often. Far too often. I fucking hate that. I hate it, man. Ray Davis stepping into a role immediately. Braylon Allen's fine. Jacob Cowan's 5th round. Who gives a shit? Jay Lindsay. T-Rock. Great his. Drake May, Adonai, Malachi Corley, Theo Johnson, and Wiley.
Drake May, I have higher than maybe some other people, so I really like that pick. Adonai, I probably have more shares of him outside of Audric Estime going into this season. I absolutely love that pick. Corley, I really want him to be good. We'll see if he gets the role that he needs to be in. He gets thrown balls more than a yard down the field. I like the Theo Johnson pick because we have no idea what's going to happen with the tight end situation, and who the hell knows if Jared Wiley is the Kelsey apparent. So I'd give him a solid A. Solid A.
Solid A. Coop.
I think that Drake May is a solid pick. Like for me, May and McCarthy are basically 50-50. I like that choice here. Adonai Mitchell. I mean, I personally would have gone a tight end over it with the warp, but at least he made the right pick for not choosing a tight end. Corley, you're starting to get into a little bit of a gambling tier, but Corley's the kind of guy that if Aaron Rodgers likes him, you can flip during the season. Theo Johnson, I'm going to say it every single time. I don't think he's ever relevant in fantasy. I think he's relevant for the NFL, just not for fantasy. Wiley, I like the gamble there in the 5th round. I think that's a good gamble to take, to pick a guy that can catch passes that's also going to Kansas City as the tight end option there. I like that option, that choice in the 5th round. So overall, I'm gonna end up giving it like a B+. I'm not crazy. I feel like he probably could have done better with the Corley than gambling on that outcome, and Theo Johnson I just think is a waste.
Damn.
Biz?
No love, Theo.
I'm with everything that Coop said. I'm gonna just keep saying that. Like I said, I think Spencer Rattler is right behind Ray Davis for me. But outside of that, yeah, same thing Coop said. So I'm gonna go B+. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I know we had a whole conversation about tight ends. I wouldn't mind Sanat over AD, but at this point, I'm cool with what he has. So I'm gonna go everything what Coop said.
Fuck them tight ends. Hey, good job. Drafted Drake May. So you could have fucked up the rest of the draft.
But I will take McCarthy over Drake. I will say that though. I'm McCarthy over Drake right now.
All right. Well, let's grade this one then. T-Rock. Crispy Yo. Crispy Yo's draft. JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, Javon Baker, Kate Stover, Anaya Smith.
Well, I do have 5 other quarterbacks ahead of JJ, so there's a little bit of a knock there. Blake Corum, despite what DB was saying about broken tackles doesn't really actually matter that much when you look at top 12 running backs. So I care less about that. He's been amazing the last 3 years. I love the Javon Baker pick in the 3rd round. Cade Stover, it doesn't matter. It's the 4th, and Anaya Smith, it's the 5th. Anaya Smith, a lot of people really like him as far as film guys go. So I will give you a solid B because of the Blake Corum pick.
Jesus. Knocking Blake Corum. Coop, what do you got?
No, because he's good.
I think I like JJ McCarthy pick. I think the Blake Corum pick once again is just the Ben Sinnott thing for me. Baker, I actually kind of like just taking a random shot. If you're going to choose a wide receiver here in this range, just take a shot at Baker because New England's got almost nobody in front of him. He could carve out a decent role. I also Stover was who I was debating with McLaughlin at my pick, so I actually like that one. Anais Smith. If you think that what you're going to do is he ends up getting that third wide receiver role in Philly and you're able to flip him at some point for some sucker who thinks he's going to make a difference to their team and you're able to get like a late second out of him, good. Realistically, I think that's one of the better picks here at the end of the fifth in terms of trying to play like that. So overall, probably going to give you an A-.
Is?
Yeah, I'm not the highest Corum fan, so especially in lineup. So I probably would have took the tight end over Corum, but I'm not even really the biggest Baker fan either. I get what Coop's saying, and that makes a lot of sense, but I do like that Cage Stover. I'm high on Cage Stover in the 4th and 5th round because I feel like he one play away, and he was teammates with the quarterback Stroud. So that I just like that little tantrum. But McCarthy was good there, so I would say a B plus for me.
I give it an A. The only thing I didn't like was just Baker over McMillan or Luke McCaffrey. Just chasing draft capital, man. I think both of those are good prospects too. Right?
Yeah.
Those teams had an opportunity to take Javon Baker, and they said no. We want these other guys. So
yeah,
going with the NFL process. And the round 3 hit rate for wide receivers is pretty good. The round 4 one falls off a fucking cliff into the abyss of nothingness. So A draft other than that one. But if the only thing you fucked up was a 308 pick, you did pretty good. Pretty good. All right, T-Rock.
Okay.
Man of the hour, myself. Grade my draft. Bo Nix, Marshawn Lloyd, Tyrone Tracy, Isaac Guerrero, Blake Watson.
Yeah, I'm very surprised you took Bo Nix only because I don't know how much hate he's been getting, but I like Bo Nix. Marshawn Lloyd, I like him too. I had Tyrone Tracy graded kind of high, and then the fact that they haven't said anything about him, and when people have asked about him at press conferences, they don't really hype him at all, kind of has me worried that they don't really actually are going to feature him that much. I love Guerrero, and I don't know who the fuck Watson is. So I will give you a solid A.
Don't know who the fuck Watson is. He's a stud. All right, Coop. Go ahead. Let me have it.
I'm actually kind of with T-Rock for most of this. I like the Bo Nix pick. Lloyd, I think it is solid. Just hope he gets the fumbling under control. Tracy, I also like. Guerrero, I really like it the back end of the 4th for sure. I'm usually taking him at the front end of the 4th. And then Watson, once again, I have no clue who that guy is, but he's a running back that is on a team. So you know what? In a lineup league, I'll roster a guy like that until he doesn't make the team. So I'll also give you an A.
That's some great analysis right there, too. That's how exactly I felt about picking Blake Watson. Other than, I don't know who the fuck you are. It's just like, you're a running back on Denver. Why not? Fizz, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Bo Nix one is honestly an auto pick for me. From 108, from 208 and beyond, I'm taking Burton over all those guys. So I would have taken Burton over Lloyd to me personally. Tracy, he's right above McCaffrey for me, like literally one spot. So I like the Tracy pick. And I might be the only one, man, but the Brandon Rice pick, I don't think the Chargers know what they want to do at receiver. Like, I feel like once they find one or two guys, they might, just love those one or two guys. And Jerry Rice bloodline doesn't hurt either. So me personally, I'm taking Rice at that spot, but that's really a roll of dice move. It's the 4th round. So I would say a B. I'll give you a B on that one, Mike.
Unlike Campus Can, I'll stay true to the rules and I'll adhere to them and not give myself a grade. Unlike them, we just start a competition a week early. Just don't tell the guys over at Canton Bound, so they're dead last. I love it. Appreciate y'all. By the way, for everybody on here, if you could do us a favor, go to Campus Canton's podcast feed, go down to Canton Bound, rate the show. Leave a review, and tell them why you're there. Because it's us, Canton Bound. All right, so we don't have to cheat to win. Let's grade ES 18,000's draft. I think I got all the zeros right. T-Rock, he had Xavier Worthy, Ben Senat, or Senate. D-Bro's still here. Don't want to say it wrong for him. But I'm white, and I read that as Senat.
I do too.
McMillan.
I try to be a little corporate too, but it's Senat to me.
Dylan Lobby and the rugby player. That's what he's going at, the rugby player.
I was shitting on the Worthy pick ahead of Thomas, but it's whatever. It's fine. I do have Worthy pretty high. I have been hyping up Senate this entire offseason. He's one of my favorite players in the entire draft. So you really can't knock that, and especially in a top 2 or in a start 2 tight end league. McMillan, I did not have graded very high, but he was hurt last year. And the Bucks are really hyping him up. And Lauby, he played one game last year where he got like 200 yards receiving. So who the hell knows? And who gives a shit about that last guy? Doesn't matter. So I'd give him, I would give him a B- just because I like the first 2 picks. I don't like the last 3.
Cool.
I think Worthy was the best guy on the board when he got there. I think Sanat is the best guy on the board when he got there. McMillan, I like him in best ball leagues, and I liked him a lot pre-draft, but post-draft in a lineup league, I'm not really a huge fan. I would have much rather have gone a Spencer Rattler or just a running back at this spot. Lauby, I like taking the gamble. And the rugby guy, I mean, it's hard for me to justify with the running back room that Kansas City has taking him. Like, I think he's a guy that you put on your practice squad and then you end up cutting him off your practice squad when you run out of years of eligibility. And then maybe in 2 or 3 years, you'll be interested in him. So that's kind of my thought on him. So to me, it's kind of throwing away that pick. But overall, I really liked the first 2. It's just the 3rd and the 5th I'm not a huge fan of, and so that's going to get like a B.
Biz?
Yeah, I like the Worthy pick definitely to get him right there. Even over the Penix pick, I don't mind it. Especially if you're a win now team, you could definitely use those points. I feel like to me, I'm taking Burton, but it's a preference. Honestly, I actually just had a trade a week ago. I traded Burton for Sanat straight up, and it was a 175 premium or a 75 premium. So, like I said, that's just preaching. What I'm saying is I'm taking Burton over Sanat. But yeah, the McMillan one, I'm not really too high on. I'm taking Spencer right there. So I would give it a B+. Not a bad draft at all, but Xavier right there, I definitely like, even with Penix still being available, because if you're a win now team, you could use Xavier. So B+ for me.
I'll give him an A-. I probably would have taken Penix, but Xavier Worthy's fine. Sanat, second best player available to him. I would have gone with Jalen Wright instead, but it is what it is. If you're going to do it and take a tight end, might as well be this league, and it fell into his lap.
Yep.
McMillan, okay pick. You know, whether you like McMillan or Luke McCaffrey, didn't really care which one you took. Dylan Lobby, nice pick at the 410. And then, whatever, it's the 510. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire for most of these dudes in the 4th and the 5th are going to get cut from all these fucking rosters before the season even starts. Like most of these guys, you're like, I'm good. Practice squad, fuck off. Need the roster spot, so A-. All right, Manderson, T-Rock, Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin, Spencer Rattler, Malik Washington, and Isaiah Davis. Give Manderson a grade.
I like the Brian Thomas pick. Troy Franklin, coach there in Denver, he's been hyping him up. I guess I don't know. I had him graded pretty high, but the 4th round capital is kind of worrisome. Rattler, he's like my freaking, I don't know, 11th or 12th graded quarterback, so I don't like him at all. Love Malik Washington and Isaiah Davis, whatever. So I give him, I'll give him a B minus.
Timothy Logan brings up a good point. What's the hit rate for a fifth-round quarterback? Going back to 2007 to have a top 24 season within your first 3 years in the league, the hit rate on a fifth-round NFL drafted quarterback is a whopping 0. Never been done. Spencer Rattler would break the mold.
Who was in front of those guys though? That's the question.
Probably a lot of Derek Carrs.
Well, we know Derek Carr.
There
Give
was probably a David Carr in front of one of those guys. So I guarantee there was a Carr in front of a fifth rounder at one time. All right, Coop, give him a draft grade.
Brian Thomas, I like it. Troy Franklin, personally, not my guy, but sure, if you're taking a wide receiver at this point, he's one of them. Rattler, I like just in terms of, hey, if Derek Carr ends up not doing as well, people are calling for his head. Who's going to be the guy going up? Rattler probably has the best chance, in my opinion. Malik Washington, I am just so worried he's a gadget player and that he's not relevant at all for fantasy as much as you want him to be. I mean, the fact that they went out and signed Odell Beckham Jr. is what is like driving that nail further into that coffin for me. And Isaiah Davis, I like it. Another backup running back. Just go for it. So overall, I'm going to end up giving him like an A minus. It's just really that Malik Washington that pulls it down for me.
That's the best pick.
Is?
Yeah, again, Burton over Franklin, and I like Spence, and I'm gonna roll the Brendan Rice dice, but I would give it actually a B minus because of Franklin and Washington. So I would go B minus.
I give it a C plus. Brian Thomas, fine pick. Troy Franklin was a reach. Many better options out there. Spencer Rattler, okay. And to Genji's point, yes, this was only looking at hit rates through the 2021 for the 3-year average, right? The 3-year, because you haven't had 3 years of 22 guys and 23 guys. So Sam Howell would be the only one then, because he did actually hit that warp threshold of top 24 in his first 3 years. So Sam Howell, that's it, your entire sample size. Spencer Rattler, fine, okay, who cares? Malik Washington, decent enough pick, and Isaiah Davis is fine, but you fucked up the second round one, so that's why you get that draft grade. And then the last, yeah.
Is he going to be the next Marvin Mims? Is that what you're worried about with Troy?
Jesus Christ, he would hope to even be Marvin Mims.
Jeez.
He's going to be the next whatever shitty fourth round wide receiver you insert there that's never done anything.
Damn.
Yeah, harsh, right?
That's a lot.
All right, we're going to grade Fizzles last. Lad McConkey, Jermaine Burton, Luke McCaffrey, Brendan Rice, Devontae Walker. T-Rock, give him a grade. All wide receivers.
Yeah. I love the Lad McConkey pick. I just wish that you had more faith in it, Fizz, but I understand that you really like Penix too. Jermaine Burton, I absolutely love Jermaine Burton. I've been taking him at the end of second rounds, and I feel like that's stealing. McCaffrey, I have him graded kind of high, but like I just never seen a wide receiver like him really be successful. So it's just like I'm really interested to see how they utilize him. Brendan Rice, yeah, exactly what you were saying, the bloodline. And then Walker, I think that's probably the steal of the last round, only because like who else do we see of anyone else in the fifth round actually playing as much as Walker, even though he is super raw. So I will give you solid A.
Solid A. All right, Coop. What do you give Fizz?
I think Lad McConkey's an okay pick, but I am hard pressed to be like, yeah, I'm super excited for this rookie wide receiver going to an offense that's not going to throw the football a lot. That with a head coach that who knows what he looks like. Like, I don't know. I think people are sleeping on Josh Palmer a lot. Burton, I am fine with the gamble. I just think tight end should have been taken over him, but I do think Burton was probably the best choice outside of going the tight end. But then keeping up with the wide receivers, the McCaffrey, the Rice, the Walker, like I don't know that. I'm thinking through this like, hey, this is the team that just won the championship. What are they trying to do to bolster their team? I don't think going all wide receivers this draft was the way to do that. And so as a result, I end up having like I think those later picks were all wastes. I think you have to go like a C plus.
Damn, that's harsh.
Damn, harsh. Biz, I'll give you a B plus. Lad's fine. Would have taken Penix. Jermaine Burton's fine. Would have taken Jalen Wright. Luke McCaffrey was a nice pick, though. There's nobody who went after him I would have taken over Luke. Brendan Rice, if that's your guy, taking a shot. Not a lot of dudes other than Rasheen Ali I would have taken over him. And then Devontae Walker. At least you won't one of those guys who drafts Devontae Walker in the third. If you're going to take him, 5'12 is a perfect spot to take him. Might as well. Fuck around and find out. Just to the point, though, we were talking about fourth-round wide receivers, T-Rock. I'm going to throw out some names for you just so you can really feel
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, you got one. Romeo Dobbs. There's another one.
He was good up for a moment.
Can I interest you in some Gary Jennings Jr., Hakeem Butler, Riley Ridley, Antonio Callaway, Deshaun Hamilton, Jamon Moore, Jaleel Scott,
great.
Kiki Kuti, Chad Hansen, D.D. Westbrook, J.U. Cheshin, Josh Malone, Mac Hollins, Ryan Switzer, Chris Moore,
Name
Malcolm
some good
Mitchell,
ones.
Farrell Cooper, Ricardo Lewis, DeAndre Smelter, Justin Hardy, Vince Maley, Bruce Ellington, Jalen Sanders, Kevin Norwood, Shaquille Everett, Ace Sanders, Josh Boyce. Dude, some of these guys, I have no idea who the fuck they are.
Wait, why are you telling me this? What happened? What did I say?
I'm just saying. Just wanted to point it out with all them Troy Franklin like truthers and Javon Baker truthers. It's a great company to be and have. Yeah. T-Rock goes, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then the list just went to shit after that.
If it had been somebody who like we had character concerns in the fourth round, but we were like, hey, this is a guy like a second round grade on talent. Like, okay, I could justify that, but how Troy Franklin fell to the fourth round, I don't know what the problem is, but I'm guessing it's how the NFL views his talent.
Hey, there's a Mike Thomas on the list. It just happens to be the one who went to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The other Mike Thomas to Jacksonville.
Is that the Mike Thomas that was in Jacksonville and then he had like a season where he moonlighted in Baltimore and it was like Baltimore's like number 2 wide receiver for some god awful reason.
Sure is.
The biggest knock on him is that he's not physical. That's what I think a lot of scouts are worried about, is that he's just going to get knocked off routes. He's not going to be able to separate. I see it. That's fine.
Here's some of your more recent ones. Charlie Jones, Darius Davis.
Charlie Jones was hurt. He could be good still.
Tyler Scott, Calvin Austin.
Those guys had moments.
Eric Ezukama.
What moments has Calvin Austin had, T-Rock?
Des Fitzpatrick. Remember that hype? That was fun. Jacob Harris, converted tight end, then not a tight end, then not good.
Those coaches didn't know what to do with him. That's not his fault.
Tylan Wallace. Maybe you're interested in Antonio Gandy Golden.
Tylan Wallace had, oh my God, he had such hype in camp, and then he didn't do shit for the Ravens.
I love it, man. Some good ones. Round 5 quarterbacks, though, while we're on it before we bounce out of here. Clayton Tune, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jaron Hall, Sean Clifford.
All
Sam
those guys
Howell,
had sell windows.
Jake Fromm, Clayton Thorson,
Not Jake.
Easton Stick, Eric's favorite.
But Mike, every quarterback you name got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. They got contracts in front of them. I feel like Spencer Rattler.
I think T-Rock had the better point.
How about
All
in
of those guys
2016,
had sell
Fizz?
windows.
Kevin Hogan went to Cleveland. Who do you have in front of him? Nobody.
Like when you're getting down into the third, fourth, fifth, I'm looking for guys that can potentially have sell windows. I'm not
3/4 of those
looking for
guys
that are gonna
started.
stay.
At one or two games that you
I
could
feel
have
like
sold them
Spence
for a
better
fourth
than
or
all
fifth
those
round.
guys you named, though, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's
That's
not
just me.
better than Jordan Travis.
Nathan Ederle, Chicago quarterback. Ricky Stanzi, what's up, Iowa? Let's go.
Hey, go back to Iowa.
TJ Yates, John Skelton, Jonathan Crompton. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Nate Davis, Rhett Bomar. These are good names, man. Eric
It's getting
Ainge,
ugly.
Dennis Dixon. I remember him from the NCAA football games, man. I remember
It's
old
getting-
Dennis Dixon out of Oregon.
It's getting ugly out here, man.
Just throwing out some names, people. John David Booty.
Yeah,
List of quarterbacks is Booty.
He was booty. He was booty.
No respect for Cecil Schultz. Yeah, unfortunately. There it is.
No shorts.
Hour and a half.
What about
Hour
Dan
and a half.
Orlovsky? He was fifth rounder.
Dan. And he ran out of the back of an end zone.
Yeah. and people,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't
people
think
take
his name could be brought up without thinking about running out of the back of the end zone.
That's it, man. That's it. That's gonna do it for the mock drafts, man. We're done. We did 2. We started late, but I needed a break. A couple weeks though. DB, get excited. We're gonna kick off 2025 NFL draft first round.
Let's go,
we'll be
DB.
back. We'll bring back 2 weeks. I promise you, 2 weeks. Not next week. It's Memorial Day. Everybody enjoy their holiday.
Cool.
Enjoy your holiday. And Jordan Travis is terrible, by the way. T-Rock, just so you know. Just so you know, D-Rock, DB is fucking excited.
F you guys.
He's ready to dive in. Coop, I'm going to need a Quinyon Mitchell, like, level pull right off the rip, okay?
It's all right. I'll find one for you.
Find one for me. And Fizz, just to take us out of here, I mean, thank you for putting me on, man. All these Kendrick diss songs, not copyrighted.
I see dead people.
I see dead people. Let's
That's how
bounce
we
out of
get
here.
Hey, Mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your